This video is sponsored by iFixit. In today's video, I've got a broken Game Boy Micro, and we're gonna try and fix it. Now, it's been so long ago that I don't even remember what's wrong with this Game Boy Micro. The bag that it came in says it has no power. It's in fairly rough condition, but it looks like if I can get it working, it will be at least functional. Everything seems to move and work how it should, obviously except for it not powering on. So hopefully, once I get that power problem fixed, we'll have a working Game Boy Micro. The first thing we need to do is plug it into a charger and see if it charges. Okay, we did get a flash of light out of the start and select buttons. I was thinking maybe the battery is faulty, but it also might not be. So even though we do get that flash from these buttons, we get no power when we turn it on. So the first thing I'm gonna try is putting a new battery in it, and let's see if that does anything for us. So this is actually the first time I've ever opened a Game Boy Micro. Every time I'm opening something new, I always turn to my trusty iFixit toolkit because I know it's gonna have exactly what I need to get pretty much anything open. It's got this entire bit set. I've already got it set up right here with my driver and bit. And then it's got lots of pry tools, and it's got some tweezers over here to help you get into pretty much anything you need to get into. So that's what I'm gonna be using today to open up this Game Boy Micro. If you wanna get a set like this for yourself, go to ifixit.com. And I'm just gonna be using a PH000 to remove this screw. And then I think, yeah, the battery is right under there. So we've got a 3.8 volt, 460 milliamp hour battery. Let's check the voltage on the battery and see what it looks like. All right, and we have 0 volts. So this is definitely a dead battery. So let's first try a new battery. Let's check the voltage in this new battery, make sure we've got a good one. 3.9 volts. Should be enough to at least show us some power on this Game Boy Micro. Okay. And just no power. Let's see what happens when we try to charge it. Oh, we had a flash on the screen for a second there. Let's try that again. No flash on the screen. The start and select buttons did light up. Okay. So basically the same thing even with a good battery. Also, the other thing I noticed is we've got a pink liquid damage indicator. So obviously that means we probably got some liquid damage on this thing. So I got to get it taken down to the board so we can inspect it and see what kind of liquid damage, if any, there actually is. It's always interesting for me taking apart things I've never taken apart before. So there's a screw there that we're missing. Then it looks like we got this one and this one right here. I'm guessing those have to come off next. So let's try that. I got another one missing right there. Not a fan of these Y screws. I personally don't mind, but so many people don't have the Y bit that they try and use like a Phillips bit, which will work sometimes, but also a lot of times it kind of strips them out. So hopefully don't run into too many of those. Like this one right here, you can see it's not in great shape. But something about these iFixit toolkits, these bits are very high quality, so they're gonna fit right in to these slots just how they should on these screws. And that's what you need, because if you get a sloppy fitting bit, then it's much easier to strip these screws out. Now, does that just come off? Maybe. I think so. Oh, we get the back off that way. So now do we have it apart enough? Yes, yes we do. And we have like a little clip right here, I think. Ah, there we go. Always makes me kind of nervous when stuff like this is just kind of falling out. Okay, and then we got this screw over here. Whoa! Alrighty then, everything's just kind of falling out all over the place. So we've got this button here. I just need to remember how these go. And then the start and select buttons there. Okay. This liquid damage indicator is still intact, so that's good. This one's a little more intense than I thought it would be. There's a lot of little pieces here. I don't know what I expected. Just seems like quite a few pieces on this thing. Okay, and then we can disconnect the screen right here. Okay, and then we're just left with the board. I'm seeing a little bit of discoloration down here on these pins. Other than that, I don't see anything obvious that would cause any problems necessarily. So I think what we need to do is have a little closer look at this under my microscope, and then hopefully that'll tell us what's going on. So the first problem I see is we got a lot of flux around here, which isn't necessarily a problem, but that tells me somebody has either tried to replace this charge port or did replace it and didn't clean it up, possibly caused other problems. It's hard to know for sure. I don't know if there's supposed to be any components over here, but I do see how there's some extra solder right there, little pointy tip. So I know that we get battery power right over here. So the first thing I'm gonna start checking, I'm gonna plug the battery in, then we're gonna start checking voltages on the board. I've got nothing to go on here. I've never worked on any of these before. So right now I'm just kind of guessing, but once we get that battery plugged in and see exactly where we have voltage and where we don't, that should help narrow it down. So starting at the battery connector, if we put black probe on black, red probe on red, we get 3.9 volts. Let's just go right over to this fuse over here. 0.44. So no voltage over on the fuse. It's a 32. Okay, so all we know is we have voltage on this plane right here. It's got these 4 little dots right here. That'll help us identify it when we turn it over. So we got a B- and a B+, that means this is ground, this is power, and we've got 3.9 volts here. So we just trace this plane down to here, 3.9 volts, and 0 volts. Now this has a marking of 33. The other fuse had a marking of 32. Oh, here we go, F1. So this is a fuse, so right away, we can see that we got a bad fuse. Let's just check the resistance on this fuse. And my meter should be beeping right now if that was a good fuse, but it's not. So we know we got to replace this fuse. So let's get that fuse replaced, then see if that fixes it. Okay, and here we have 3.8 volts and 3.8 volts to the other side of the fuse. Now we have this fuse replaced. I've verified that there's voltage going through the fuse. Now, one of the things you have to pay attention to though is if there's a fuse blown, we need to pay attention to why it blew. Unfortunately, we know no history on this. There's no signs of liquid damage anywhere on the board, except for maybe right here. Let's clean this off, and then we'll try and charge it and see what happens. It's hard to tell. I kind of assumed that was flux right there, but you know, it could be some sort of spill right there. So I'm gonna clean this all off, and then we'll try and charge it. I don't wanna plug the charger in if then it's just gonna blow this fuse again. Okay, wow. That actually just powered on. I probably should have disconnected the battery before I started doing that, but that could be our problem. And hopefully I didn't just blow that fuse again. Let's check it real quick and make sure it's still good. Okay, we're good. That's something I normally do, but totally forgot to do it on this one. Anytime I'm doing any soldering or cleaning or anything like that, I just make sure the battery is disconnected. Okay, that is all nice and clean now. Now we can get this battery plugged in and then put it on a, whoa, we already got a blue light. I don't know what that means. Let's see what happens when we try to charge it. Hey, look at that. The blue lights come on. I think that's good news. But we do still have to test the screen, and then I also have to try and get this thing back together. I've never taken these apart, never put them back together, so this could be a challenge. This is good news so far. Let's see if we can finish the job. Ah, look at this. See, whatever that liquid was, it's built up on this piece. Ah, here we go. Here's the source of a lot of the sticky nastiness. Right down here. Okay, how is it so far? All the buttons work good. Everything so far is looking good. Let's get this screen cleaned up next. I'm definitely not happy about how many scratches and stuff are on this screen, but it's what I got to work with for now, so I'm gonna get it cleaned up and make it look as good as we can. With the rest of the screen cleaned, you just notice those scratches a lot more. Look at that. But, like I said, that's what we have to work with right now. So we're gonna make it look as good as we can. Okay, now let's get this battery plugged in and see if it works. So everything is still working, that's good. Let's plug the charger in and see if it charges first. Okay, and we've got two blue lights right here. I'm guessing those are charge indicators. All right, are we ready? Let's turn it on and see what it does. Oh, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. So we got one more thing we need to do though. We need to get a good faceplate on here. There we go. That is much better. And just for fun, let's plug a game in and see if it plays a game. Ah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So there we have it. After all that, we've got a working Game Boy Micro. It just goes to show that a few little simple tests can really make a big difference when you're diagnosing and trying to repair devices. Thank you to iFixit for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching it, and I hope you have a good one.